oppressed people, wherever they are, have the right to self-determination. I believe that the priorities of this planet have to be completely changed. And instead of profits, instead of policies that destroy the earth, that destroy the water, that destroy human beings, I believe a policy that protects people, that makes people live in a community.
Lights, camera, action, roll sound. Let's talk about books, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the cool things we can read. Let's talk about books. Let's talk about books. Let's talk about books, baby. Let's talk about 343. Let's talk about all the cool things and the dope things we can read. Let's talk about books. Let's talk about books. Let's talk about books. Let's talk about books. Hey there, welcome back to the Free Black Women's Library YouTube channel. Thanks so much for clicking on the video. Thanks so much for liking the video. Thanks so much for subscribing to my channel. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to the antics of the Free Black Women's Library. So, this video marks the first in a series of videos that I am creating called 3 for 3. In these videos, I will be talking about 3 books that I highly recommend that have similar themes, similar characters, some type of connection. Maybe they all fall underneath the same sub-genre. Either way, they're books that I've enjoyed, and I just wanted to share them with you. Let me know if you have any recommendations for me as well. I'm always looking for a good book. But without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so last month I had a conversation with the folks from Zora Mag on IG Live about the book Assata, a memoir written by Black revolutionary Assata Shakur. Now, that video is linked in the description box in case you didn't see it. Go check it out. And if you haven't read the book Assata, read it right away. It is incredible. It's completely changed my life, and I know I'm not the only person who feels that way because I have talked to so many other women, Black women especially, who were so deeply moved by that book. Now, why am I bringing that up? Because that book has something in common with the 3 books I'm talking about today. The theme for today's books, drum roll, revolutionary Black women. All right, revolutionary Black women. I'm giving you 3 memoirs written by revolutionary Black women. The first one is called The War Before, and it's written by a woman named Sophia Bakari. The subtitle is The True Life Story of Becoming a Black Panther, Keeping the Faith in Prison, and Fighting for Those Left Behind. Now, The War Before was published by our good friends at Feminist Press. It came out in 2010, and I'm just going to read the back very quick. Sophia Bakari's story begins in 1968 when she witnessed an NYPD officer harassing a Black Panther for selling the organization's newspaper on a Harlem street corner. Compelled to speak up, she was handcuffed and thrown into the back of a police car. Now, Sophia Bakari was born in the Bronx, and she was a Black Panther. She was an activist. She was actually incarcerated for 9 years for a case that was connected to the Black Liberation Army. And as soon as she came back out, as soon as she was released, she went right back into organizing, and she basically spent her entire life organizing. She created a coalition to free Mumia Abu-Jamal, who is also a political prisoner who's currently incarcerated still. Free Mumia. And she died in 2003 at the age of 53. Rest in peace to her spirit. This book features a foreword by Free Black Women's Library favorite Angela Davis and an afterword by Mumia Abu-Jamal. It is a really excellent, dope read if you are interested in reading about the life of a Black revolutionary woman. Hearing about her life in her own words, I highly recommend this one. It will move you, it will teach you, it will give you inspiration, it will give you knowledge. It's a powerful, powerful book. So the second book I'm going to recommend in the revolutionary Black woman theme genre, memoir, is A Taste of Power. Now, A Taste of Power, a Black woman's story, is written by Elaine Brown. This one's a bit older than The War Before. This one came out in 1993 and it was published by Anchor Books. Now, Elaine Brown is a little bit of a controversial figure for reasons that I'll let you Google and research on your own. But either way, this is her story told in her own words, where she talks about being a member of the Black Panther Party, and she was the first and only female leader of the Black Panther Party. And that was a powerful position to hold. She talks about the misogyny she had to deal with. She talks about how she became a revolutionary, how she became politicized, and all the patriarchy that she had to deal with within the party and outside of the party. So, A Taste of Power, a Black woman's story. Highly, highly recommend. The third book I'm going to talk about is When They Call You a Terrorist, a Black Lives Matter memoir by Patrice Khan-Cullors and Asha Bandele. And this book also features a foreword by Angela Davis, similar to The War Before. Now, Patrice Khan-Cullors is one of the 3 founding members of the Black Lives Matter movement, the Black Lives Matter organization. Whenever you see the hashtag Black Lives Matter, she is one of the people who really put that fervor and put that fire and put those words out there in a passionate and intense way. And Patrice's book, When They Call You a Terrorist, is incredible. It's beautifully written and it tells her story. And similar to the first 2, she talks about how she became politicized. She talks about class struggle. She talks about dealing with state violence. She talks about dealing with misogyny within organizing, within and outside of organizing. And it's just wonderful. It's amazing. I love it. And I definitely recommend the audiobook because she has a beautiful voice. So these 3 books are all books that give you just some really intimate insight into Black womanhood and into what creates an activist, what creates a community organizer, what causes someone to become a social justice advocate. And it also gives you insight into intersectionality and the struggles and the joys that come with Black womanhood. There's talk about emotional health, there's talk about mental health, there's talk about growing up as a Black girl child in this country, growing up poor, dealing with microaggressions from classmates, from teachers, from co-workers, as well as dealing with the police, dealing with the state. And they all rise above and they all persevere and they all have something to teach us in these 3 books. They're so powerful. I love and I recommend every single one. Another thing I think is interesting about these women is that they're all artists in a way. They're all creators. Like Assata Shakur was a poet. Patrice Khan-Cullors is also an artist. She's a performance artist and a visual artist. And I would consider her a writer as well. Elaine Brown was a musician who made music. And Sophia Bakari is also an incredible artist, leader. When we first meet her, I think she's either on her way to a performance or coming from a performance. But either way, those are the 3 books that I recommend for this video. Let me know if you've read any of these books. Let me know if you've enjoyed them. And let me know what you think about the idea of me kind of categorizing these not just as revolutionary Black women, but almost as kind of like coming of age books, because what we get to witness and feel and see and experience through these women's words is how they come into their political identity and how their Black womanhood shapes their political identity. So that's it. Those are my 3 books for this video. The War Before, A Taste of Power, and When They Call You a Terrorist by Patrice Khan-Cullors. All right, so let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.